Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Everybody Has a Mic podcast, season 2, episode 9. Yo, we trying to get to 100 episodes. We about to start hitting y'all in the head. We moving out here. If you don't realize it, we moving. We making moves out here, okay? We going viral for us. Other people say there ain't no numbers. Guess what? It's viral for us, motherfucker. So it is what it is. We got over 60,000 views. We got over 3,000 likes. We got hundreds of interactions from shares, reposts, retweets. We're out here. We're making waves. All because y'all don't listen to the end of a 30-second clip. And y'all hear what y'all want to hear.
Nah, they don't
But
want to do
either
the work.
way, it's
They
your
didn't want
boy
to do the work.
JT Malone, a.k.a. Yep. Nah, that's the problem. East Coast legend. You can follow me at freaknasty_ECL. Again, ECL stands for East Coast legend. I mean, I could do so many things to your soul, but I'm going to tell you one thing I will do to it. Destroy it. Steve, what you got?
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Stevie B, Mr. S.B. via Instagram, as well as LXB Galleries. I'm big on art. Art is life. I think that is very important that everybody has the opportunity to showcase their art. And we did speak about hip hop, and I had a hot take. And hopefully the rest of the world can actually listen to whatever else we were talking about. It's very important. And that being said, I'm gonna spin it over to my man Mo Money.
R&B interviewer extraordinaire, Mo Money.
Yeah. I'm pissed off. My internet's messed up. Everything messed up right now. I'm just pissed off, y'all. Internet's dusty. Anyway, my name is Mo. Y'all know who I am, man. Y'all know from the viral clip. Y'all know, it's trash, ain't hip hop. Y'all already know what time it is. I'm done. I don't even got to say no more. I'll get this internet working. Continue, fellas.
All right, Money, can you pull the clip up for me? This is how we starting the show. His internet is up, people, but we still here rocking. But
we still here rocking.
I'll start the conversation off while he getting the video up. Two prominent, I don't know if one of them's a Hall of Famer yet, but two prominent NFL.
I think Ocho is a Hall. He's not a Hall.
Yeah, two prominent NFL former players
Ruining my
are
stuff.
making waves on the internet, and surprising to me, a lot of people are agreeing with what they have to say. And you know what? I've touched on it multiple times, so I felt it was only right to bring it to the pod because they moving, we moving, we got to support Black men, we got to support Black businesses, and that's what we out here doing. So we're going to talk about a topic that's going to have some people's panties in a bunch, but it only counts for about 2% of the population of America, so I don't give two fucks at the end of the day. Come and get me. That's all I got to say about it. I ain't going to say nothing crazy, but you'll see the video and you're going to understand exactly what I'm talking about.
Steve, you still got mad tabs open, pause. I don't know. It's all good.
Hit it.
This sounds horrible.
This ain't it. Pause that, Money.
Like that, but other words,
Pause
y'all know
that,
the words I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's not it right now.
There's some
That's choppy right now.
Sound
we
dusty?
gotta go back. Technical difficulty. Yeah, technical difficulties.
Told y'all that. And
Who is Aiden Ross? How about I start there? Let's start that conversation. Who the fuck is Aiden Ross? I got a
Aiden
group.
Ross?
Yeah, I got to Google this dude. Oh, I don't know him.
What did he say?
He admitted he say N-word frequently. He 25 years old. October 11, 2000, Westwood Lake High School. Some internet white boy. I have no clue who he is. He says the N-word all the time. And, yeah, he's being talked about by Ocho Cinco and Shannon Sharp. They called him out.
Wow, look at that. I mean,
he said on his live stream the other day, his viral live stream, I'm not fake. I use the N-word.
the thing about that word, right, is it holds so much value for so many different reasons. It's something that was so negative that we took to a term of endearment. We changed that level of negativity into something positive. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the fact that some people don't have, or, they can say it, but when they say it, how people respond to it,
yes,
I'm sure isn't what they like or care for. But It's the simple fact that I'm sure they say it around their own people or people that don't look like us, and it is just a regular word, but they don't realize that that word was so demeaning, and it was demonstrative of us as a people. Like, it was really degrading. We made it into something that was halfway decent. Now, the topic of that video, which hopefully we get a chance to pull back up, was that Ocho Cinco and the great Shannon Sharp were speaking about how those words in that term, whether it's endearment or not, is frequently used, right? Like a show that I love to death, Boondocks, was out and they were saying that word often. Now, don't get me wrong, that's my all-time favorite cartoon of all time. You know what I'm saying? And for the reasons and the messages that they had to, speak about, but they did say the word a lot. And it made it, like, I guess, cool or whatever the case may be, but they don't use, words that can be considered anti-Semitic. And that's the point in the thing. You see, that's the whole point.
Yes.
The anti-Semitic aspect, where if you say the word or you use or speak badly about people that are from Israel and things
Yep.
and all that other
Say the
stuff,
H word.
that's where, yes, you say you glorify or speak about their oppressor. That's when you are.
Oh no, I wasn't even talking about him. See, that's the point. There's words out there to describe them that you don't even realize.
I didn't. I
Well,
don't, because I don't care enough to
Well, but that's
talk
one
bad
of the
about
things
them.
that
But
that's one of the things he said. He said that Jesse Jackson, when he was running for president, he called New York City H-Town, and he had to apologize. You're gonna have to look it up because I mean I can say it, but we ain't monetized yet. So I don't know if you want to get demonetized yet.
I don't know what the word is, but we can speak
And
about it when this is over with
yeah,
and
but
everything else in between.
the point is, I can't say that word because the people who run these platforms will shut me down. But it's cool that their grandfathers and their uncles push this word on everybody through the radio, through music and everything like that. And, I was getting into it, not really getting into it because ain't really too much to get into people who, post comments under videos on Facebook. But I digress. Sometimes, I get in them comments, I get my hands dirty with the pigs, shaved apes, I should say. Let me not degrade pigs. They're very smart animals, but the shaved apes, I get in there with them and I have to show them really who's their daddy, who's really the descendant of original man. And I have to show them you have to be educated. And I literally put it into their terms. The dude was like, yo, nobody makes rappers say that word. Snoop Dogg and NWA, they all use that word. I'm like, who pushed Snoop Dogg and NWA? Because I'm pretty sure NWA was pushed outside of LA by a man named Jerry Heller, who happens to be a certain descent. And what did he do to those young men? He basically robbed them. Eazy-E had the Fly House, and Eazy-E found out one day he ain't had no money in his accounts no more because Jerry Heller was taking all his money, talking about that's how business is done. No, that's how you do business, sir, and your cohorts and your associates. That's how y'all do business. And I'm not saying it's everybody, but it's a certain type of slimy in the entertainment business that takes advantage of poor, misguided Black youth. And they push certain agendas because we talked about it. We said the new generation of hip hop is garbage because they don't talk about nothing. They wear their little jeans, they suck lollipops, painted nails, make demonic music. And that's what's being pushed right now. When we were young kids, they pushed the gangster shit on us. NWA. And I love NWA. Don't get me wrong. Dre, Snoop was not in NWA originally. Let me not misspeak and have y'all in the comment. You don't even know what he's talking about. He from the family tree. So the point I'm making, you, Yella, Ren, they made music for their neighborhood where they grew up. We grew up in Connecticut. Connecticut, don't sleep on it. It's got its bad parts. We all know that. But at the end of the day, we wasn't riding around listening to, NWA and all of that type of stuff at first because it was a regional music. And then it got pushed to the mainstream. Again, we got brilliant minds, brilliant artists out of this group. I'm not taking away from it. But when the gangster rap got pushed, all the conscious rap that we grew up with got pushed away. KRS-One, they don't play his music on Hot 97 at all no more. You know why? He was on Street Soldiers with Lisa Evers. Again, I got no disrespect for Lisa Evers. She's been doing the work for a long time. She's been an advocate for hip hop. She's on Fox 5 now from Hot 97. You know, I've seen her go from, this is Lisa Evers on Street Soldiers on Sunday nights, but she was on there and she asked him, what's with the youth? Why is there so much violence? And he says on Street Soldiers, well, y'all is the problem. Every other song is gun this, gun that, gangster this, sell drugs. And they hung up on KRS-One. This was 20 something years ago. Look it up. He talk about it all the time. And they don't play his songs at all no more. So when people sit here and, you compare me to Ebro Darden or my man Mo Money to Ebro Darden saying we old heads and we hating, we're nothing like Ebro Darden. Ebro Darden is pushed and perpetuated because half his lineage is the same people we're talking about. And he just looks like us. But we all know, if you know anything about history, if your mother is of those people, Jewish descent, you're considered a Jew, i.e., he's a puppet being put in front of us, and he is held down for the past 20 years because he has been the program director as well as the face of Hot 97. He has held down hip hop and pushed his friends that are from his community, i.e., Certified Lover Boy. They got the same background.
Hey,
I'm not
going to hate on what you're saying. But
he's
what
not
I will say,
pushing anything conscious is my
I'm
point.
not going to
He's
say
been the
that
program director. It's a farce. This is all I'm going to. It's a farce.
It might be, but he has more recently pushed, underground hip hop and certain people. And yes, he was a part of a certain era of, I remember, was it Saigon? Was it Saigon that he got banned?
He did.
Saigon,
he
yeah.
banned,
The Saigon ban was crazy, right? Like I can say that. Did he ban My Deep?
They was the one for Saigon. Did he ban 50 Cent? Because 50 Cent in the game had a shootout in front of Hot 97. He still played their music.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying.
But KRS-One says they speak about the guns, and the music program director of Hot 97 played me a KRS-One song 20 years.
Well, apparently to the youth and the people out there, that level of hip hop isn't marketable, right? So, they can say what they want and they can be that way. We obviously love KRS-One. We obviously have a deep, love for hip hop. So that wouldn't be pushed, unfortunately. Like, let's not get it wrong. Like certain eras, hip hop is another day. All right. I'm not going to get on hip hop, but what I can say is, yes, Ebro has pushed a narrative in some ways, but he's also been true to the culture. I'm not gonna. He might have been a staple in the culture where he did something foul to someone in the culture, but a lot of people do a lot of foul things anyway, right? But that being said, he is still a staple in hip hop, whether we like him or not.
Well, yeah, because he's been put there. And I'm not saying he didn't put the work in, but Ebro, I think he was born in New York and then he got popping in like Washington State or something. I don't even know his story like that. I know they called me a clown because I told him he didn't know what he was talking about with COVID a few years ago. And, you go out our way to degrade another black man for basically saying the truth. I got a problem with that personally, so it's personal over here. But the point I'm making is this. He's been, it's certain people we're not allowed to talk about. It's certain things we're not allowed to say. And they put people in positions to put us and make us look bad. And when you have three men like us that represent, let's be real people, the majority of black men in America are like us. The majority of us ain't cooning and buffooning, and the majority of us ain't thugs. The majority of us go to work every day and take care of our families. Period. And I feel like, if you push a certain narrative, you make people want to clutch their purse and say what up, yo, to you. I hate when that shit used to happen when I was a kid. And some random little kid will come up to me and be like, what up, yo? And I'll be like, what are you talking about? Like, why are you saying what up, yo, to me? You're like, you don't even know me. Like, what are you doing? So don't, I personally don't like being put into a box because it's deeper than all of that. And again, yes, this is very much deeper than rap and hip hop. 100% I'm with you, Steve. But at the same time, I'm starting to be very happy to see more and more people are waking up to what's going on. what it really is. And I'm just going to put it like this. I'm going to end my rant. The majority of the NFL are African-American males or people from African descent. The majority of people who run the news media and media in general are from Jewish heritage. Is that anti-Semitic? Is that racist to say on either side? How is one normal to say? I can say black men play in the NFL, but I can't say people of Jewish descent own a lot of the media companies and not be labeled as anti-Semitic for saying it. So shouldn't you be racist, be considered racist for saying that NFL players are majority black? If you know what I mean? People always want to say black people use the race card. Can we start calling the anti-Semitic card out and say that it's kind of bullshit?
Well,
If I'm not
unfortunately,
saying kill all and then putting it behind them, and I tell you who runs and owns media companies, how is that anti-Semitism? It's the goddamn truth. What are we doing?
we don't run anything.
Well, who does?
People that apparently you're not supposed to speak about, right? And we all know this. We've seen the trail. The thing is, who's going to dethrone them? That's the question. And no one knows, unfortunately. We might not ever see it in our lifetime because it happened under the eyes of our grandparents and our great-grandparents and the other people in between there, you know? But it comes with the territory, unfortunately, and it sucks. And what those two NFL stars were saying were true 100% because they've seen it
both sides
as at the pinnacle of their careers. You know what I mean? We, the three of us, are regular Samaritans for the most part, but Ocho Cinco changed his name. We refer to him as Ocho Cinco instead of Chad Johnson. You know what I'm saying? And you know, Shannon Sharp and his brother and alone, first two brothers in the Hall of Fame. These guys are legendary. You know what I mean? So if they have something to say about it, I think somebody should listen. And we did. You know what I mean? Although I didn't watch the clip, but we're talking about it now. You know, it holds volume, you know what I mean? And it's very important that, you know, somebody else speaks about it as well. More money, man. You quiet over there, bro. Talk to me. How you feel?
It's that type of night money?
Yeah. Your silence speaks volumes, man. I ain't mad at you, man. Everything you have to say is said right then and there. I ain't mad at that.
Don't hear me? Y'all don't hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I can hear
No,
you.
we can hear you.
Oh, my bad. I ain't mean to do that. Listen, fellas. Let me try to get this on here first. Let me try to get this on here one more time. Then I'll speak.
Skittles.
What your content
The
creator?
quality.
Create
It's
some
bad?
content.
Quality is not the
Oh,
greatest.
it's bad?
On everything,
Yeah.
man.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's going in and out on my end.
all
But
right.
But if you
But
was to peel back the
did you
layers,
see how Ocho froze up? Ocho fell back a little bit because
That's what I'm
Ocho
saying.
knew
People have
how
no
detrimental it could have been
problem.
to what they have because he said it from
boy,
the jump. They own everything.
I don't hear you, Justin.
Oh, my bad. I was on mute. I said, shout out to Ron B. I was saying, and then Steve, you was like, you groaned, and I was like, don't do that, Steve. Like, stop it.
Who grown?
When he said, he described the flag, he was like, oh, don't do that.
I mean,
Why am I in the
We
background?
gotta stop
This is
it.
all messed up.
We gotta stop it.
dog, look, I understand that we got to stop it, but
We gotta call a spade, bro.
we'll talk more about it in a little bit. I'm
You
gonna
gotta
switch
just call-
topics. I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna switch
We
topics.
just gotta call a spade. We gotta stop hiding. That's all I'm saying. Like,
You know,
we just got saved for what it is. Literally tomorrow, if I wake up and all my assets is frozen, I'm just gonna come to y'all and say that this is exactly what happened, and it's gonna prove the point that they made. If they get canceled, it's gonna prove their point. If I wake up tomorrow, my assets are frozen, it's gonna prove my point.
yeah,
So,
but
just saying,
I'm with you. I'm definitely.
I'm
with
wearing
you.
a shirt who talk crazy and then backtrack because he must have a big deal in the work. Why else would he backtrack?
Yeah,
He held it down for 2 years.
he did.
And he got more money than when he was messing with them because the deals wasn't funny no more. Oh, I said that online because he starts selling direct to the consumer. Yeah, it take you forever to get your stuff, but it's good quality. I got a sweatsuit. It's pretty nice. Shout out to Yeezy.
You think after having an extensive conversation with a friend of mine, do you think men respect women? And if they don't respect women, why do you think that is?
Fifth Amendment.
Respect women in what way?
I just went all out. And you brought this up, Fifth Amendment.
Dude, I'm just asking the question. Because, I'm listening to, that conversation. And throughout that conversation, I was just like, yo, where the f is the respect? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care, bro. I'm not here for the everything else in between, bro. These people, even though they are the opposite sex, they are human beings, bro. You cannot we have mothers. We wouldn't be here if our mothers didn't have us, right? So how could you not respect a woman with enough respect to just act as if what you want them to do, they must do?
There's levels to this.
Give me what you got, brother.
It's levels to this. There's levels to this.
As well.
Wow, it was Diddy-ish.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
So it's levels to this. It's levels to this. Every man, I'll go 99.9% of men, because some people, Eminem is the prime example of mother who didn't love his mother because of how she treated him. I mean, they made up now, but every man's first love is their mother. And you leave your house and you go out there and you meet a young lady, and there's a lot of dudes that will be in the comments of what I'm about to say and say, "Oh, you sound like a simp." No, you go out there and a young lady will break your heart. Everybody ain't pimping, bro. Everybody don't got OG Mac game. Everybody wasn't knocking everything down since they was 12 years old. Some of us went out here, I would say the majority of us went out here, thought everything was sweet, and we got done dirty. And you'll say, well, you were dealing with girls. You weren't dealing with grown women. I deal with grown women a lot. And it's not that I don't respect women. Most of these humans that you speak of, the opposite sex, are not women anymore. They're not transgender. They're not women. Ultra masculine, a lot of them. Femininity is damn near dead. It's very hard for a person who's trying to be a man, who a lot of these women say they want a traditional man, take care of the house, pay the bills, be there, emotional support, financial support. And when you expect what a traditional woman does, they call you sexist. They call you a narcissist. What else do they call you? They call you a lot of names. So I don't think it's that men don't respect women. Is women ain't women no more. And then not all of them. Yo, the breathing is crazy with that mic, bro.
New mic, people. Got a new mic.
Yeah.
You know, headset, rocking a new mic.
It's,
So,
it's right next to his mouth.
but,
Pause.
you
So
know,
this dude's in with the Vader.
Yeah,
He doing
but
his Vader impersonations.
Yeah. Word, but I'm not disrespecting women. I ain't called them what a lot of people would call them, and given this topic, because there's a lot of things you can call them. I don't have a word, because they all aren't bitches and hoes, but there is a large percentage of women that aren't women. And again, they aren't bitches, they aren't hoes. What's the term to describe them? We have come, a lot of our generation, the mothers raised the young ladies to tell them they didn't need a man. And that's Black, that's white. If you were an American woman, born after a certain year, I'd say after 1970, you probably were told you need to be independent and you don't need a man and blah, 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 blah. It's an American thing. So these aren't women anymore. A woman will tell you they want a traditional man, but they don't have to be a traditional woman. Masculine women, maybe that's what we call them. Venus de Milo, you remember her from A Living Color? Because I'm not going to hate on China, because she just had muscles, but she was steady pulling dudes. I just don't get it. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say men don't respect the women, but look at your timeline. How many women respect themselves now? And I'm just going to stop. Stop playing with the beard. We hear it all. It went from, we can't hear this man, to this man is, I can hear his eyelids blink.
Yo, I was so happy that I'm so happy this man got his mic, but now he doesn't even realize now he's over the top loud, right? So now you hear everything. He's like Vader. Go, go, go. Yeah. Pause. Lord of mercy. Lord of mercy.
my God.
Shabbat.
Hey, what's your
Shabbating.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Like sandpaper.
So play with your. Oh, this is crazy.
Fellas,
my God.
Fellas, honestly, fellas, this is, I don't think, Steve, you said men don't respect women.
Like, can men respect women? And if they can't, why not?
I don't think women respect men. I don't think women respect men. Ask them. Ask them right now. Do y'all respect men at all?
Mhm.
Hell no, I don't. I know you don't. But you were.
I got one. Have you seen on the internet lately the newest question they've been asking these women on the street? Who would you rather be locked in a room with, a man or a bear? And they picked the bear, sir.
Yeah.
Look it up.
Okay.
It's them.
Okay. But all right, go ahead, Mo. I'll
Go,
wait
Bo.
until
I'm
it's
sorry.
No,
But
no,
yes,
no.
that's just his point.
Yeah.
They don't respect men.
Listen, y'all. The only thing a woman respects, I'm writing it right now. See?
on screen.
Yeah.
It's like the man's.
You know what? I was about to. That's it.
Women respect a
Wow.
man's money.
Mo
Yeah.
out here really shooting.
Yeah,
Mo
you
out here
do.
Really shooting.
Y'all love their
Yeah.
money.
That's it.
Tell me how many
Mhm.
billionaires there are off of a man's money. Y'all love a man's money, but y'all don't respect the man, but you won't respect back. I can't.
Yep.
You got to make this make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't think that every man doesn't disrespect women. I think there's a lot of men that do actually respect women that were women of a certain past. Remember, these women have now evolved into a lot of like have masculine traits, just like JT Malone said that they were raised by women to say they don't need men for anything. So you can't half step that, Steve. You know what I mean? You can't half step that, man. Like you can't switch off when you feel. It's not gonna work for them.
I mean, I know where you're coming from. A lot of women are, need a dude that's 6 feet tall. You know what I mean? Has six figures and all this other stuff. They have, these huge lists that men have to, abide by in order for them to have time with
No,
them,
Steve,
right?
Steve, Steve, Steve,
I
Steve, Steve,
get you there.
Steve, Steve. No.
Yo, I mean, depending, because there are a lot of women.
Life humbles men. Time humbles women.
100%.
Give it time, brother. When they get older, that humbles them. Age, they don't do well with age.
No.
They have a problem with
That's
age.
why a lot of women always ask you, do I look old?
Yeah, because they're
Because that's their biggest fear, getting old.
I've spoken to the older woman community, and the older woman community have told me that they struggle now because men don't look at them the way they used to look at them. They want that attention now. They didn't want it back then. They don't get the same attention, man. You can't sell the cat. Yeah, they can't sell that cat, man.
Man, look, the number one most dangerous thing on the planet for a woman is a man, right? And the reason being is because a lot of women get raped, they get
Great.
assaulted, they get, beaten, you know what I'm saying? And all types of stuff by men. So yes, are they afraid to be in the room with a man versus being in the room with the bear? They might look at it as an equal opportunity scenario because either one of them can harm them in any way.
I think the most dangerous
right?
thing
So when it
for a
comes
woman, I think the most dangerous thing for a woman is a woman. Continue.
that can also be a
Continue.
because a lot of them don't get along
I'm
with
gonna
each other.
continue. I'm just talking about themselves. They're gonna destruct themselves, and they're gonna need
I
nobody
believe
there.
it. I believe
I've
it.
seen them
But
implode.
you also have scenarios where women look at men as a danger because of like certain dudes that hate women because they're scared to talk to them, right? Like there's a whole like group of people, I don't know what the name of them are, but they're so shy to talk to women that they have these anti-women groups because they just don't respect women and they only look at them as objects and pieces of meat and everything else in between, right? Like I don't got no sisters or anything like that, but I do have a mom, right? But and the way I look at this stuff is that would I want somebody to be thinking this way about my mom, or would I want to hurt somebody for whatever reason, or hurt a woman like a man does often? there's a lot of scenarios where women are subjected to a lot of bullcrap, whether it depends on if they're wearing. I've heard someone say that if a woman is wearing something that is revealing, right? So anything can be revealing to anyone's kink, right? Like somebody could like, rolled up socks, and that could be like their thing, right? You know what I'm saying? So if that is something that is revealing or provocative to a man, he could, then want to approach such woman, and the woman deny him, and then he takes advantage of her by wanting to sexually assault her or do something crazy to her because he saw something on her. Like, that's a day-to-day thing that women have to go through. Not to mention that a large majority of women are always being catcalled and everything else in between, and they're always on guard because they're worried about a man possibly hurting them. All right. So as far as men respecting women, there's different types of respect. You can respect them in a way physically, or you can respect them in a way where you obviously just think nothing of them, right? So you can disrespect them in the sense to say, you're a woman, do your job, get in the kitchen, right? That energy, which that is a very old school mentality, right?
That Batman Beyond
That
episode.
Batman Beyond, you're gonna cut it. But anyway,
Get back in the kitchen. That shit makes me laugh every time. I'm sorry.
But it's also crazy. That was in the 90s. That was in the 90s.
Yeah, and it was in the
television.
90s on a show based in the future. That's why it's even funnier. It was like 2027. Oh no, it was probably like 2040 on that show.
Yeah, because it was Batman Beyond. Yeah. But when it comes to respect, so many people have or do not have, right? But I put that question out there for not necessarily just you guys, but anybody that decides to listen, right? Because this is going to be a clip, do men respect women? And if they do, how so? And if they don't, how not? Is what I'm asking everyone. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody has a different thought process and a mind state about that as women and men.
I respect women that don't use their kids as weapons and wallets. I said it.
Think it's more.
That's what I respect.
I think it's more. Not the respect. I think it's more that men are scared of.
Tired.
They're scared of the weaponization of women's emotional stability. So I'm saying
That's very true.
I think men are scared of that emotional roller coaster that women have, and the way they can weaponize their emotions. Hence why I think that it's going to be very hard to see a women president.
As crazy as this is going to sound to some people, I don't think we'll see a woman president in our lifetime. Maybe we'll be older. I'll push it 40 years. You want to know why, Steve? They had 2 opportunities in the past 12 years to elect a woman. They chose not to. They went with Donald Trump both times. I rest my case. Just saying.
I mean, but look at who they went with. Is that really respect to the woman? Somebody that is a outward known womanizer?
Well, that's my point.
And that's the problem.
They'll pick a slow womanizer over an established woman with credentials.
Yo, what's so crazy to me is,
as a country,
this man, they had a whole Republican race, and they picked that man. That's what blew my mind. It's not like
there were 16 candidates when he started.
That's my point. They had 16 candidates, and they still picked this man.
I knew he was going to win day one on the stage. I said it. I should have put money on it. I'd be a rich man right now.
They picked that man.
I should have put money on a Bitcoin when it was a penny
out
too.
of everything. They picked that man.
Yep. So all right, we're getting close to time. Money.
Yeah. You know what's so crazy about this though? Steve, you did this.
What did I do?
This whole thing.
You brought this topic up.
You brought this topic up. You did this.
I just was having a conversation earlier.
I was having a conversation earlier too with somebody, and they showed me an Oprah clip of men. Highest rate of men are now unaliving themselves, and mental health. Yeah, mental health for men is really bad right now. And I said to this person, I was like, nobody cares. Nobody cares about men.
No.
Like, nobody cares about men, and it's not going to change no time soon. And this is a female, and they got mad at it. And I was like, you got to understand. They're like, yeah, men shouldn't suffer. I said, men suffer all the time.
We suffer in silence, most of us.
I'm so happy I didn't lead you to that. I'm going to clip this and send it to him.
It's 100%. Because not for nothing, I mean, I got y'all, I got 2 brothers, I got a couple of other boys that I can talk to about what's going on in my life. Not all men have that. A lot of men are in environments of all races where another man don't want to hear your problems because he got his own. And some motherfuckers are secret haters, even though they claim to be your friends, they happy that you got problems. So you got to pick and choose who you tell your problems to. Because not for nothing, and this is coming from a person who I feel this 100% in my soul. If you show your true soul, the softness that you have inside of you, because we all have it, ain't nobody always walking around chewing gravel all day. Shoot 'em up all day, you know? You hold a baby, you be soft, you know? That's your heart. You have a kid, that's your heart, that's your baby. You show too much of that softness, the woman will lose respect for you. I personally feel like if you cry in front of your woman, she don't look at you the same.
Say that one more
And
time.
I'm saying it. I don't give a shit. I feel if you cry in front of your woman, they don't look at you the same. I know a lot of women who have told me they never saw their father cry, which means that man, when something up happened to him, he had to go out to his garage, go into the basement, and cry alone, go for a ride, park up somewhere, go cry by himself, fix his face, come back and be stone and be the rock for the family. If women say, "Oh, show yourself," and the next week they fucking more money. I'm just using you because you're a trainer. Just
Yeah, that
saying.
that definitely brings me back to when that dude was, we've talked about it before, but that gentleman was like, really talking about the twine that he used throughout the years, and his wife came out with
30
a
years of
Jets
his life.
joke, and he looked like, "I can't believe you right now," right? So,
Mhm.
that showing that level of vulnerability, which is weird, right? Because it's like a double-edged sword, because they ask you all the time to do so. They ask you, why can't you be vulnerable with me? Why can't you be vulnerable? And then you do it, and then it looks, not all of them, but some of them look lesser
Mhm.
at you because of it.
Yep.
And if you do it overly the amount of times, now you're even less of a man, right? So, fortunately enough, like Justin said, I do have a group of fellas that I get down with and I speak to a lot. And I can show that level of vulnerability. Or if I don't show it in that moment, I could tell them how I was vulnerable, right? We have that, which we're grateful for. But there's a bunch of dudes that's out here, tough as nails 24/7, and they ain't
Mhm.
got that. So driving
Don't
them
get
to the point
and
of,
don't get them drunk because they're gonna cry like a schoolgirl.
yeah, we've had plenty of those nights.
Man.
But
The toughest man, you get him drunk enough, he going through something, he gonna cry.
yeah, he is.
That's real talk. This dude
But
spilling ice. I hear it all.
the double-edged sword, the gift and the curse, the
Money,
good
what you got
headphones.
for us?
That's what I got for y'all. So pretty much what I'm trying to say is when a woman says she wants her man to be emotionally intelligent, what does that really mean to you? I'll say it one more time.
All right, really quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
From my perspective, I look at that obviously with the vulnerability to crying and all that
You
other
let
stuff, but
into it.
also when, it comes to, how you parent your child, right? Like I'm gonna pull it in from that perspective. Being a father or a son, and then, seeing something that he may do and be upset about, and then having, you know, his mother coddle him a little bit and say, "You're always too tough, you're always too hard, you're always, you don't have that emotional side to the aspect of you being a dad." And it's not that I don't, because, I share lots of love with my son, you know what I'm saying? Because I grew up with the dad, and, it may or may not have came, but I know how I want to be with my boy, right? But I am a little stern, right? Because I need him to be equally as stern. They say that the kids that normally are, messed with by older people are the ones where they have a weak father, right? You know what I'm saying? So I don't need him to see me being weak and soft in order for anyone else outside of this household to look at him and say, his dad is weak and his dad is soft. So I'm going to be able to be, he's prey to my being a predator. So sometimes from a dad's perspective with your son or even daughter, you have to be a little bit more tougher and have a tough outside exterior in order for them to know that you are there emotionally, but your emotional intelligence is different. That's the biggest difference. We aren't women, right? We can't think like women do. It's impossible. So the way we showcase our love and our intelligence emotionally is completely different. We just have an understanding. It's like two people reading a passage and taking what they want from that passage, right? I read something, Justin read something, Mo read something, and we all walked away from it thinking three different things. It doesn't necessarily mean that what we're thinking is wrong. It just means we interpret it differently. And that's where I feel like emotional intelligence comes in, because just because you see it being one way and you think that your way is right doesn't mean that my way is wrong.
Let's then go for it.
So, all right. So, I actually had to read a book and write a 5-page paper in grad school,
You're saying this.
business school people, about emotional intelligence, because I was going for I doing a weekend program to get my master's degree, and I was missing a Saturday to go to my brother's wedding, and the professor told me, "Yo, the only way you're gonna pass this class is if you read this book by Daniel Goleman called Emotional Intelligence and write a 5-page paper on it, and that will take the place of you missing this class. If you can't do that, you're gonna have to take the class next fall because we only offer this once a year." So of course I got down with the get down, and I read the book and I wrote a paper and I got me an A on it because I don't play when it comes to applied knowledge. Okay. The point is, I was looking at it from more of a business aspect, because I'm not even gonna hold you. I kind of don't use it in my personal life because I kind of don't have time to care about what your emotions are. It's a path that we on, and we moving forward and towards, and it's a life that we want to have. Your feelings don't matter, period. But when I go to the office and these people come in here, men, women, young men, older women, younger women, and they have a problem and they're distraught about something, I have to step outside of myself and think about what's truly going on in their head. And I want to say, be empathetic. My empathy is very low. It's very low. I have very low empathy for people. I have very low empathy in general, because as we talked about before, I've grown up in a man in this society. And most importantly, I've grown up in a Black man in this society. So I killed my feelings by the time I was 7 years old, because I knew that's what I had to do if I wanted to make it in this world. Because people weaponize your emotions against you, especially as a Black man, to put you in up situations, call you names, you act a certain way. Especially when we was growing up, you were the problem if you reacted wrong. I used to rip people apart with my words. And I mean, it's a lot of out here who probably think I'm a bully once they learned what I was calling them. But hey, your mama and your daddy should have taught you to read more books, and maybe you would have been able to catch on back when we was youth. I digress to say this, though. That's part of the reason my emotional intelligence is low, is because I freaking I beat the shit out my feelings a long time ago. So your emotions mean little to nothing to a person like me. I rely on logic and I rely on reason. And, I, I don't believe 90% of the stuff I see anymore. I don't believe, I mean, I pick and choose what I read now because it's a message and an agenda and everything.
Mhm.
And worrying to me about what is going on emotionally in a woman's head will have you in a poorhouse. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. They call them simps for a reason. Honey, what do you want? Oh my God, you're not happy? You want a new purse? You want to go on a trip? You want this? You want that? Blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, she's the trainer or the drug dealer, the weed man. Weed man got hella pussy while homeboy was at work, putting in for the 9 to 5 to pay for the house. And the weed man come over and smash your girl while you working. So for me, what it means, when a woman wants you to have emotional intelligence, they want you to be a simp for them. They want to run you and they want you to be a simp. And on that note, fellas, I got to sign off because these
Yeah.
people is calling
Yeah,
me.
you got to sign off.
I will hit y'all.
I'm going to say this part.
All right,
All right
people.
now. So I'm going to say this, Steve. Yo, emotional intelligence, women say that. I feel that they want you to manage their emotions. They don't got nothing to do with you.
You mean that you have to, as a man, put their emotions in front of yours?
You damn right. They really don't want to hear your emotions. It's a way for them to really talk about their emotions and how they're feeling. Because if you dump all your emotions on them, what is that going to do for them? Really? Everything you're
It's not.
really
See,
feeling, what
we
you're really feeling. This is why we're good sufferers in silence. Women don't suffer well in silence. They gotta say something out. We don't say half the things that's
saw
bothering us about them because we know already what time it's going to be. They can't handle that.
I saw something that it was a guy and his wife. They were sitting on the couch, and something along the lines. This question was asked, and his breakdown was perfection, right? Because he was saying that he can't. Men don't show a level of vulnerability to women because if by any chance they show that vulnerability, then by a small margin, the woman goes from trying to make the man feel better about what's happening, but also secretly planning in their mind what they're going to do with their possible escape. So when you're behind on, so let's say you own a business and the business isn't going as well as it did a couple months back. And I am literally chilling on this joint by myself. But yes, it doesn't go as well as it did a couple months back. And, her response was eye-opening because he's basically giving her a breakdown of, what it feels like to be a man in some scenarios, which is interesting because the truth of the matter is we'll never fully understand each other, right? But at the core of it all, I don't care what my contemporaries say, you got to put some respect on these women's names, man. It's dangerous out there for them. And there's a bunch of people out here that look at women in a way where it is extremely degrading, and their thought process on how they should act because they're women is absolutely absurd. And I mean that wholeheartedly. It's just what is the feminist that they say, whatever. You can call me whatever you'd like. I'm live and direct right now because it's just me on here. Justin had to do his thing and Mo just took off for a second. But I got 3 minutes to just talk my talk. I'm not a feminist. I'm a human being. And I look at women as humans. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the greatest man on the planet. And have I done wrong to women? Absolutely. But what I can say is I still have to respect them in a sense to where you will not harm them in any way. And a lot of scenarios with people, they get in their mind that a woman should be a certain way. No, people grow. It's called evolution. It's not like we're not sitting here talking to these people or these women like they need to do what we say. Yeah, sometimes in some sense, being able to, I guess, bend the knee to us makes us feel good and gives us a smooth bravado or whatever, and makes our chest puff up because we're men. But in the same sense, man, they nurture us. They take care of us in the most important times. And for dudes out here that's actually like discriminating and like really doing foul things to them, man, I only have one thing to say to you, and no offense, but you. That's absolutely horrible. That being said, this is episode 9 of Everybody Has a Mic. And I'm happy that I got a chance to say peace to everybody. Please like and subscribe when you get an opportunity. We would fully appreciate the love and the following and the followers. The only thing that we're going to do in this joint from here on out, and something that we've done from the beginning, is keep it 100. My money, I just ended the episode. Welcome back.
I'm happy you did. Happy you did, man. This thing's been bugging out, people. Bugging out. I'm so aggravated with this internet, people. I can't wait. I can't wait till tomorrow. I'm going in. Y'all have no idea. I'm hot. I'm hot about this internet. This man's out there is dropping gems, and then it kicks me off.
I'm looking forward to you listening to the rest of what I've said, man, because I think it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That being said, please, everybody, be safe until the next time, and holla at us when you get a chance.
That's right.
Peace. Yeah.